Hello, wonderful attendees. I'm your host, Dalvinder Kaur from lovely Professional University. Get ready to dive into today's topic, that is threading success, essential skills for aspiring fashion designers. Before we proceed further, allow me to introduce the expert of the day, Mr. Akash Rathore, Assistant Professor and HOD, School of Design, Fashion Design and Technology, lovely Professional University. With a passion for innovation and excellence in education, Mr. Akash is at the forefront of devising new and explanatory ways of pedagogy and learning techniques. Before we proceed further in today's session, I would like to request everyone, for any questions you can write in the chat box or in the Q&A box, and same will be addressed from my side in the end of this webinar. And now I hand over the thanks to Mr. Akash Rathore, and it would be an absolute delight to listen from him. Over to you, Mr. Akash.
Well, thank you, Ms. Dalvinder. It's my pleasure to be here today and talk to the creative minds. So, I think shall we start?
Yes, sir. Kindly share your screen.
Yeah, let me share. Is it visible? Is my screen visible?
No, share your PPT, sir. Presentation.
Hi.
Share your presentation. Yes,
Is it
the screen is visible. You can continue.
okay? So, okay. So we are here to, so as Ma'am said, I'm Akash Rathore. I'm an assistant professor and head of the department at School of Design, Fashion Design and Technology. And today I'll be talking about, the essential skills for an aspiring fashion designers. There are, certain, every domain or every stream has, certain essential skills which are, much required to gain a success in that field. So similarly, fashion design as a field has, some essential skills which every aspiring fashion designer should, learn. So let's start with, today's webinar. Okay. So if I, just tell you that, these are the skills set that you need to develop if you want to pursue a career in fashion, you will, probably question me that why we have to develop these skills, like what is the relevancy, like why. So let me give you a little context, that why, how the fashion industry at present has evolved or changed over the years, and in what direction it is actually, moving to, and keeping in mind, the present pace of, the fashion industry, why we need to develop these essential skills. So if you talk about, there are, lot of development which has happened in terms of, the environment and sustainability. Not to forget that, fashion industry is the second most polluted industry, after coal and gas. So that is the first, the reason that, we need to develop some essential skills that will help you to move towards, sustainability and make fashion more greener. Second is labor rights. We have all heard about, it all started from, the Rana Plaza tragedy that happened at, the Dhaka city in Bangladesh. There are, other lot of, labor rights that happens, fair compensation and all. Third is the circular economy. As I already told you, that fashion is the second most polluted industry. So when it comes to circular economy, we talk about cradle to cradle approach. Cradle to cradle means, like, for example, like when you design something, it requires certain amount of resources. So from where those resources we get, it comes from the nature. So at the end, the purpose of that the product that we have made, it should not go into the trash. So it has to be like, we need to follow a circular economy where everything is recycled, upcycled, or repurposed. Then there are a lot of technological advancements that have been happened. So we, to keep a pace with those technological advancements, we have to develop these essential skills. Then cultural appropriation. Now, as Marshall McLuhan has clearly said, that this world is a global village where everyone is interconnected to each other. So understanding other person's culture and appropriate it in a finest way, without making or make without offending anyone, that's a necessity. Then inclusivity and diversity. Now, every day we told about every day we read about being inclusive. So when it comes to fashion, it's not only that we have to develop the fashion is meant for the fully abled person, even the people with special needs, or the plus sized bodies, or different diversity. We need to cater their needs as well. Seventh is the consumer behavior, which is very volatile. I myself is a millennial, and the students whom I teach are the Gen Zs, and I have my 5.5-year-old niece who is a Gen Alpha. So I have seen the how their behavior has changed when it's about consuming the products. So we need to keep that in mind as well. Then the supply chain transparency, like obviously, as a informed person, I should know that who has made my clothes, like where they have been, from where the material has been sourced, what all technology has been used to make it. So I should be aware of it. Then the economic challenges. So you can see every time there are a lot of economic depressions, and lot of changes in economic front. So we need to keep that in mind as well. And then the 10th is the intellectual property and the counterfeiting. So we have seen that there are a lot of cases of where people use somebody's intellectual property without you giving due rights or due acknowledgement to the person. So it is sort of a the plagiarism that a lot of people do. Counterfeiting is obviously, we lot of time we hear a news that a whole consignment of fake Louboutin shoes were seized from somewhere. So there is a lot of counterfeiting as well. So these are 10 reasons. um, Keeping in mind these 10 reasons, we have to develop some essential skills, so that we can work in these 10 fronts. So let me start with the skills. Okay, now before I tell you about the skills, there is this very famous saying which says, jack of all trades and master of none. So earlier they used to say that we teach our students so many things, or people tend to learn so many things, that they are jack of all trades, but they are master of none. So keeping in mind the volatile industry, the fashion industry, or other industries as well, because everything is so interconnected. So this phrase has evolved into jack of all trades and master of one. So you should acquire every skill, be it analytical skill, be it business acumen, be it sustainability, but you should hone yourself, or you should master at least one of the skill which you are known for. But that doesn't mean you don't know the other skills. So from now onwards, please keep this in your mind: jack of all trades and master of one. Okay. So I have no idea whether you will be able to interact with me, because I just wanted people to speak, if they can identify the concept. Is it possible, Dalvinder? If people can okay. So I want you to identify this concept. You probably have seen this, concept a lot of times. It was, quite in news. There was this, beautiful lady who is wearing a dress, and you can see there are, three different patterns on that, the same dress. You can say that, the zigzag pattern, crisscross pattern is there in the second dress. In the third dress, it's all plain. In the first dress, it's, it's matte, it's glossy. So you can see this is, this is sort of a new revolution, that has, come in the fashion industry. So this dress was designed by, the Adobe, and it was all about, like lessening our, purchasing, because, we buy 10 garments for 10 different, occasions. So instead of that, we can buy a simple dress, and it changes its, the patterns and, the colors based on, the touch movement. So it somehow, promotes sustainability. So you can see the very first, the skill which a person, an aspiring fashion designer should, learn is, the creativity. Because, innovation is very important. The novelty, the newness, it's very important. The fashion thrives on new ideas and designs. I mean, what although I'm not a very, or we should not be a fan of, the fast fashion, because it's quite exploitive when it comes to, from the fashion, from the environmental perspective. But you can see Zara, Zara comes up with, a new collection every 14 days. So it, some of the garments are innovative, whereas, that is why it's making money, that's why it's a profitable company. So innovation is important. And second is, expression. So creativity allows designers to communicate unique stories and perspectives through their work. So creativity is, innately connected with, innovation and your creative expression. And the creative expression can be in any form. It can be written, it can be verbal, it can be in terms of, tangible products that you make as an apparel designer, as an interior designer, or, a product designer. Okay, so our first, the essential skill is creativity. Second is, okay. Now, again, I wanted you to, identify, what this concept is in front of your screen, and what software, if you are aware of, some of the software which are used in fashion industry. But unfortunately, I think there is only just, one way of communication. Uh, so this concept is, a sort of a rapid prototyping that we do. First of all, before explaining this concept, we need to understand that whenever we design a new garment, we never ever, construct that garment on a final fabric. So before that, we try to visualize our ideas. So through sketching, through color rendering, or, through a different, softwares, we try to look at, how our garment will look like. Because obviously, if, suppose if without visualization, I'll make it, and if, the end product is not good, then, obviously there are a lot of resources, money, everything will be, gone, everything is gone. So, and it will be a huge loss. So that's why, we have this nowadays in fashion, we have, the finest software. The software, the screenshot of the software which I have taken is, it's known as Clo 3D, and it's used in everywhere in industry nowadays. It's a wonderful, a software where you can, visualize your idea in a 3D way. You can see on your, if you see on the screen on the right side, you can see, the patterns of the garment, and on the left side you can see how, when these patterns are, sewn together, like connected together, how this will look like. Okay, so you can see there is a, a top there, then there is a skirt, and there is a crop jacket. Okay, so you can see this is one of, the new concept in fashion. So technical proficiency is again very important. We need to be, aware of, all the latest technological advancements in terms of, the softwares which is there in fashion. Adobe, Photoshop, Illustrator, those are the very, the you can say the primitive one, whereas, the Cloth 3D, I mean, I would highly recommend you to, explore Cloth 3D. So you can see the technical, proficiency. This is another essential skill. So creation of high quality garments with precise cuts, fits, and finishes. And also, students, if you will see that, at the end, like the concept of sustainability, like the way we are moving, or the way we are treating our mother nature, at the end we need to keep the sustainability concept in our mind. And when you are creating something so precise using the softwares and the finest technology, obviously the result will be much profound and much you can say finer. So it will somehow reduce the wastage, and will promote sustainability. And the second is efficiency. So technical efficiency improves production efficiency, reducing waste and optimizing resources. Okay, so now let's move to the third. Okay, now again I wanted you to identify the visual, because I don't know how many of you how many of you are from the fashion background or are interested in fashion. This visual, if you analyze this visual, you can see there is on the top left, you can see there are some colors, and there are some number written on top of it with white color. And then you can see there is this girl, and you can see there is on the top, right, you can see there is the there is some image, and then bottom right, you can see there is some text given. So this is a sort of how trend story look like we all know that fashion changes as per the season, as per the trend. So you can see there are majorly two broad seasons in fashion, the spring summer and the autumn winter. Like the season which just went was spring summer 24, and now the upcoming season is which has already started. It is like pre fall 24, or autumn winter 24-25. So this is how a trend, like what new trends, what new colors will be there in the coming season. So there are certain you can say forecasting agencies that come up with such visuals. So the third skill which is required is the trend awareness. So relevance is I mean, see, if you will develop your collection as per the the trend, obviously your designs will be relevant to the present
There is some technical glitch. Mr. Akash Rathore will join in 2 minutes. Mr. Akash, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Am I? Is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know how many of you can identify this women entrepreneur. I think females can, because she is the one who founded the much loved fashion brand Nika. A one place where you find the the world's best cosmetics. So you can see there are a lot of people who have actually have started their own business. But to start a business, apart from the designing skills, there are other skills that you should know. So business acumen is the fourth skill that as a fashion designer you should know. First of all, sustainability. One thing, students, we need to know when we talk about sustainability, when we talk in terms of saving the mother nature and reducing the waste, we are talking in terms of, environmental sustainability. Whereas when it comes to the sustainability in the context of business acumen, we talk about, the financial sustainability. For example, you should have, enough money to run your business. So to the knowledge of, business operations, like how the business, runs, what are the different, models of business, what are the different, marketing channels, what are the different sales channels, how the finances are controlled, that is again very important. Then the second is obviously the profitability, informed decisions that enhance profitability and, long term growth. And the third is entrepreneurship as a career, like, in lot of places, like, including LPU, like, we also offer, entrepreneurship as a career option, where, a lot of students, we help a lot of students, establishing their, businesses inside, or, once they, pass out. So entrepreneurship as a career option is again, but you need to develop the business acumen skills, which is very, very important. Even if you don't want to be an entrepreneur, in your life, you don't want to start your business, still you should know the business skills, because whenever you work in any industry, being as a designer, being as a merchandiser, retail, the concept of, finance knowledge, business operations will come. So you should be aware of, what all these terms are about. Okay, so the fifth, the essential skill is the communication. Communication is very important. I mean, believe me, people talking really helps. uh, there are, the experiences that I'm, sharing with you, it's based on, the feedback that we got from our employers, or, the places where I have worked before. Communication is one thing, that is very crucial in the success of the company, and also you as an employee. So, and we need to understand that, all the designing, it never happens in silos, or, there is never a single person who gonna design a commodity. So at the end, it is a collaborative process. So there is a team, lot of teamwork. And if you do not communicate clearly, not only like your feelings, but also, your design ideas, so it will be a chaos. So communicating your, design ideas is again very important. Communicating in terms of, the verbally, talking about, your concept, and also, in visual format. So there are, a lot of design boards that we use in, in fashion. Before the starting, or before designing any product, we talk about, we make a mood board, or, the concept boards. Okay, so communicating in both ways, like, verbally and, the written format, it's very important. Then obviously marketing, see, once you have made the product, you have to market it, and to market it, you have to communicate it to the people via, different mediums, be it billboards, be it, mouth to mouth sort of, marketing, or be it through any other channel. So you have to communicate. So communication is another essential skill. Okay. Now this, I don't know how many of you have seen this. This was, I mean, this incident actually blew my mind, that, how I mean, how people's loyalty, towards a brand changes, when their, the sentiments got hurt. So this incident was happened almost 1 to 2 years back at Hong Kong. So Dolce and Gabbana, you can see a Italian luxury giant. They had a show planned at Hong Kong, and just before that show, like, everybody was set. The stage was set, everything was set, and just before the show, they launched. They came up with this, advertisement, where they have shown a Chinese girl eating a pizza with a chopstick, and Dolce and Gabbana had no idea that, people will be so furious about it. They took it as a racist comment towards, the Chinese people, or like, the Hong Kong, the people, the citizens of Hong Kong, and they ransacked the entire show. They actually, fired the, such beautiful Dolce and Gabbana, stores, the clothes. And Hong Kong being, one of the, I mean, Hong Kong is a home to one of, the most wealthiest people, and they are, one of the highest customers of Dolce and Gabbana. And they actually, ransacked everything. So you can see this is very, I mean, so from this, incident, we need to understand and the develop the skill of cultural sensitivity, understanding, because I told you everything is so interconnected nowadays. So, and the concept of inclusivity and global reach has made it very easy to know about different cultures. So cultural sensitivity is very important. You should talk to people from different cultures, know do's and don'ts, because there are a lot of things. I mean, there was another incident where there was this designer who tried to incorporate the imagery of gods and goddesses on the clothes, and the Indians got the infuriated. So you can see, so we need to understand the significance of different symbols, different idols, or different colors across different culture, so that we do not end up hurting somebody's sentiments intentionally or unintentionally. Okay, now this is another concept which you need to, I want you to identify. So you can see COVID-19. I mean, we all gonna remember it throughout our life. COVID-19 pandemic. When this pandemic hit, obviously we need to wear a mask, but the people who are deaf, they actually tend to understand the people through their lips, like when I'm speaking, so you can make out like what I'm saying. But the concept of this mouth covering, it actually inhibited the people who cannot hear from interpreting or understanding the other person. So you can see the designers came into picture, and they came up with this mask where your mouth is clearly visible. So another skill is adaptability. So you need to adapt to the unforeseen circumstances, or the challenges which are there. Okay, so now another concept I want you to identify. You probably have seen this, this concept of who made my clothes, and then you can see there are, people holding this, placard, I made your clothes. So this is one concept. And then, probably you have seen this picture recently, a dumping ground in the Atacama Desert. Atacama is in South America, and it's a beautiful cold desert. And recently, there was this video where we can see piles and piles of trash. And trash, in the sense, it's not that these clothes cannot be worn, it's the overproduction. The things that have been not bought, or they that the retailers or designers were not able to sell, they actually dumped everything in this the desert. So you can see whether there is this concept of who made my clothes. This was a fashion revolution. Like this concept came after the Rana Plaza tragedy, where a whole building, which was housing a textile industry, collapsed. So after this, there were two sisters from Great Britain. They started this campaign, "Who Made My Clothes?" So, and they urged people to ask the companies that who are the people behind behind the scene, like who, if I'm wearing this shirt, so I want to know where where it's been made. Are the people who have been who made this shirt, are they not voiceless? Are they getting the right wages? Are they not underpaid, or are they not underage? So this was another campaign. So with these two recent examples, so sustainability awareness is another essential skill that we should develop. So environmental responsibility, ethical production, and then hashtag who made my clothes, so fair labor practices and everything, so you should be aware of all the environmental then the labor laws, if you want to run an industry. Okay? And if you want to be an entrepreneur, you should be clearly aware of all the sustainability aspects of the fashion from the environmental perspective. Okay, so another skills, another a skill set we should attain is the analytical skills. Analytical skill. See, now lot of you. This is the ninth, and after that there will be a last skill, the 10th one. A lot of you might, ask me that, why there is no pattern making or, the garment construction skills. The thing is, whether if I ask, if you want to make a garment, obviously you will analyze okay, you have to, for example, I'm a designer and I have to design a garment for, a person. So obviously, first of all, I need to analyze the needs of that person, that what is the occasion, like why a person has come to me, what sort of, clothing category I have to make. Like, okay, the person has a marriage to attend, so I will analyze, okay, it's a marriage, so accordingly I will suggest him, I will use my analytical skills and I will tell him, okay, a sherwani might look good, or probably a tuxedo might look good, or probably these are the some of, the colors, or the fabrics that will look good. So you can see I am somehow, doing an analysis. So during the entire, journey in fashion, we use analytical skills, be it market research, be it trend analysis, be it anything, even I told you, before finally conceiving our ideas, like, tangibly using the fabric, we generally try to, visualize our ideas, and that visualization happens through, the very basic method is sketching. And so you use sketching. Okay, so obviously when you sketch, so you have to take care of, the proportion, and the color placement, or the motive placement. So again, we use our sort of, analytical skills, although illustration is an essential skills. But yes, they all are somehow, comes under the analytical skills only. Okay, so the last, the skill is this one. I don't know how many of you can identify this concept. This concept has recently got a pace in fashion industry. Also, the same concept was there in architecture for quite a long time, especially in STEM subjects. Like, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In all these, STEM courses, this concept was there for quite long. But now in, fashion and architecture, this, concept of, again, sort of, it is a sort of a prototyping method as well, just to see that, what your product will look like. And also it is also a method of, constructing the final product. So it's none other than 3D printing. And there are, a lot of designers who are actually using 3D printing in fashion. Aris Van Harpen is one, then there are, Sucha Parali, he's another. So there are a lot of, Gen Z, I mean, and the designers, the upcoming designers who are quite technology oriented. Hussein Chalayan is another. Okay, so they use all these, 3D printing and other technology in the garments. So the last 10th is, and you can see the incorporation of 3D printing in fashion is through the innovation, which is again an essential skill. Although although I told you that, innovation, and the very first skill that we, noted was the creativity. Although creativity, innovation are, closely, you can say, connected to each other, because obviously if you think creative, you are going to innovate. But innovation is an as different, essential skill which is, required. So technology integration of new technology into fashion design and production, obviously, so it enhances your efficiency and creativity. So you can see here they are also talking about creativity. Then, sustainability solutions at the end, the way we are moving, the way we are, taking, the resources from nature without, like, mindlessly. At the end, we need to think of the, the sustainability solutions. Rent, swap, loan, these are, the new concepts. Like, westerns feel very happy about it, that we have come up with these concepts, without knowing the fact that, I think the boomers and, the millennials were the first people who used to inherit the clothes from, their cousins, or, their elder brothers or sisters. Like, I have worn, clothes of my, elder cousin. So you can see these are some of, the concepts that we need to, we need to follow, because, there, where the sustainability lies. So innovation in terms of, the product, and also in terms of, probably the service model. For example, there is this, beautiful concept of rent the runway, You can, search it on, Instagram. It's a beautiful, website where people, where you can, rent the runway pieces. Like if you have, certain occasion in your mind, you just go to their website. As per the occasion, you can, you can see that there will be a lot of, beautiful runway collection or garments or dresses in front of you. So you may choose as per the occasion, and you can rent it. You can rent it for a day, you can rent it for a month. So that is how it works. So you can say these are the, the 10 uh, the essential skills which a fashion designer must acquire, um, to be, to gain, success in fashion industry. So with this I want to end, and I want to end this with a quote that, the future belongs to those who learn more skills and combine them in creative way. So skill acquirement is essential, but combining them to come up with, the creative results, that's essential. With this I end. Thank you very much. So if you have any questions, you may ask me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Akash. Can we take questions, Mr. Akash?
Yes, we can take the
Thanks
questions.
for giving me chance to address your question. Now let's start with the first question. Mega is asking here, what technical skills are considered essential for aspiring fashion designers to succeed in the industry? And how can these skills be developed through formal education and practical experience?
See, the essential technological skills that we need to see. First of all, when we talk about, fashion, it's not only fashion we are talking about. Like, most of the people think that, probably fashion is all about, making clothes. But no, it is starting from, the crop itself, obviously, because if I'm wearing this, cotton shirt, it cannot be in this present shape if at the very starting point we cannot, grow the cotton. So the technological advancements in terms of, growing cotton as a textile designer. So textile and fashion, so you can say the agriculture, textile and fashion, these three are closely interconnected. So technological advancements, but if I talk from, the fashion industry, so we remove the, the agricultural part, but we, talk about, different methods that are there. Earlier, if you have seen, we tend to weave on the, the traditional pit loops. If you have gone to the Himalayas, you probably have seen, a very old ladies, weaving, that kullu shawls. So that was, very primitive way. But now if you go to the industries, everything is automated. So we have to we have to be in touch with, that latest technology. And the best way is, the industry exposure. Obviously, in, I think, in every university, every curriculum, you should, there are full terms, 45 days, 6 months, internships are mandatory in every scheme, in every program. So that is one of the best way. See, fashion is something which is changing every day. So a fashion cannot be learned, in a closed setting. So you have to go there. If I'll talk about, the softwares, then obviously Adobe, Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. These are, the three most basic. I can, nowadays I see a lot of, my students, carrying, iPads. So Procreate is another very great, software which we can use to make, the patterns, the seamless or engineer patterns. And for the 3D visualization, I think Cloth 3D is again. There are, a lot of, if you don't want to get enrolled in a professional, a program. So there are, a lot of open courses, like paid courses on, Udemy, Domestika, which you can join, and, you can develop the technological skills.
Thank you so much, Mr. Akash. Megha, I hope you got your answer from our expert. If any participant have any queries regarding the admissions, they just write on us at admissions@lpu.co.in, or you can do WhatsApp chat with us. The WhatsApp chat number is it's 985256900. I'm repeating the number. It's 985256900. And once again, thanks to our expert, Mr. Akash Rathore. As we come to the end of this webinar, I want to express my deepest gratitude to our experts for sharing their valuable insights and expertise with us. Your presence, enthusiasm, and active participation have made this experience truly special. Hopefully, the attendees found this webinar to be valuable and will be able to utilize the information for better decision making regarding admission. If anyone wants to access this webinar again, they can visit our website, that is lpu.in, or can be accessed on YouTube also. Stay connected with us for future webinars. Until we meet again, with the permission of my seniors, I would be signing off this webinar. Take care and goodbye. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.